Today we're having Kapoon. So grab your spoons, grab your forks, or grab your chopsticks and let's get started. Okay, let's take the first bite here. It's nice and steamy. I don't know if you can see it on camera. It looks so good. Sorry, that's so hot. So, what's in here is enoki mushrooms, bamboo shoots, quail eggs, bean sprouts, chicken, green onions, rice noodle, vermicelli noodles. And the base of the soup is red coconut curry. So good. Kapoon is one of my favorite dishes to eat. And my favorite thing about this dish is the quail eggs. Yummy. So I want to start off by reading this tweet I saw this morning. It says, if the coronavirus has taught us anything, it's the lengths people will go to when desperate. Next time you want to judge boat people, refugees, migrants fleeing war-torn land, remember we fought over toilet paper. And I just thought that was so powerful because my family, when we came to this country, we were refugees. So that kind of leads us into today's story time. So throughout my life, my parents have told me many, many stories, but I'm just going to tell two stories that my dad has shared with us growing up. So I actually was born in a refugee camp in Thailand and came to America when I was 2. So I don't remember much. All I remember is growing up here in the States and just stories that my parents would tell us. My brothers and my sister are older than me, so they remember some aspect of life in Cambodia and Thailand. The first story is about when I first went to Cambodia with my mom and dad when I graduated from college. That was the first time I had been out of the country because we didn't have passports. We waited 20 years to be able to go back to Cambodia and Thailand because the naturalization process was so strenuous and time consuming and it took so long. So while we were there, we were driving to my mom's village, which was a smaller village in the countryside. And we were driving down this one road that goes into the city, and it's a dirt road with many, many potholes, so it took quite a while to get there. And my dad tells me this story about the road bringing him so many memories. He said when it all began in Cambodia, the Khmer Rouge, they fled to the countryside, and at the time my dad was helping my mom's family gather all their belongings and flee. Well, I guess they had like a carriage or like a trailer, you know, one of those carriages where you have like a donkey or a mule pull. Well, they loaded that up, and because the Khmer Rouge were overthrowing the government, they had already started the process of the killing fields. And if you've never seen the movie The Killing Fields, I highly recommend it because it gives you more of an insight as to what happened during that time. So my dad said that they loaded it up, and because the Khmer Rouge took all the animals, the mules and the donkeys and stuff, to already work in the fields, they didn't have any animals. So they strapped the trailer or the carriage to their backs. And my dad said everybody was panicking. It was just complete chaos, and everybody was just running down this road to exit the village and try and find refuge somewhere else. And he said he ran for his life. I mean, how could you not, right? You don't know what's going on. You can only think the worst. He said as everybody was panicking and evacuating, or trying to at least, the Khmer Rouge would ride on horses next to the road where everybody was panicking and running and trying to escape. And occasionally they'd cut the line in half and take, like, wherever they cut the line, the rest of the people somewhere else. And at the time they didn't know, but now that they know, they took them to the killing fields. So my dad said he was running for his life. And he said they were passing people, and at one of the last instances where the Khmer Rouge were riding on their horse, he said they literally cut the line right after him and my grandpa in the carriage, and took the rest of the people on the other side somewhere else, probably to the killing fields. And he said that was the most stressful feeling and gut-wrenching feeling that he's ever felt in his whole life. And not to say that he didn't feel a little bit relieved, but I just can't even imagine what you would feel in that moment, being the last person they let go at that time. And it was heartbreaking for me to hear that. While we were driving down that very same road, it just made it all super real for me at that time. Like, I can only imagine. And Cambodia to this day is still considered a third world country. because of all the corruption and just, I don't think they ever could recover from the genocide on the Khmer Rouge. I think it's just, yeah, they stopped the genocide, but their economy was never booming or anything, so people are still, a majority of people still live in poverty there, and it's just really sad altogether. That trip was super eye-opening for me because I'd never been out of the country, so it was a major culture and reality shock to see where my parents grew up and where they're from. Does anybody else think it's crazy what's going on right now? All the panic buying and price gouging. I mean, it's kind of sad that people are doing that in such a time of crisis, and they're just trying to profit so much off of a bad thing that everybody's going through. It's just really sad and unfortunate. My daughter's school got canceled this week, so I think she'll be in more of my videos, my upcoming videos. So if you want to see more of her and my other little one, hit the subscribe button. So I'm not even sure that I've shared these stories of what my parents went through, just because not a lot of people know about the Khmer Rouge and the genocide that took place there. It happened in the 70s. And for perspective, I was born in 89. So for me to still have been born in a refugee camp in 89, and the killing fields happened between like 74, 75 till like 79. It just shows you how long it takes to recover from war and all of that stuff. So like that was kind of like the aftermath of the Vietnam War, because Cambodia is a bordering country to Vietnam, and unfortunately the surrounding countries are affected by war. So the second story I want to tell you is about when my family escaped from Cambodia to Thailand. And at this time, my brothers and my sister were very young, and I was in my mom's belly. She was pregnant with me. They decided to flee for the refugee camp in Thailand. So they had to walk a few nights just to get there. And on the way there, they had to cross the jungle. and it left people really vulnerable. So there were a lot of robbers. My parents actually got robbed. And not only did they take everything that they had, but they took my dad's shoes. And if you know anything about that region, it's super hot there. So you don't want to be walking in the jungle with no shoes. To this day, my dad has a funky looking toe because he had to walk in the hot, hot sand. And the only way he could find relief, and this is so sad, but he had to take the clothes off of a corpse that they saw along the way and wrap them around his feet just to try and shield him somewhat from the hot sand. I mean, that's so incredibly sad, and like nobody should ever have to go through that. So when I read that tweet this morning, I was like, that's so true. Like, people in places like Syria right now, they're in war-torn countries and they just are trying to survive, and here we are fighting over toilet paper and Lysol spray. I mean, come on, people. So it just reminded me of what my parents went through before we made it to this country. And to make matters worse, once they crossed the border into Thailand, they were arrested because they were crossing illegally, because the last thing you're thinking about when you're trying to flee a war-torn country and a genocide is to grab your documents. You're just literally just trying to escape with your life. So that was super difficult. But even though my family has been through so much, I'm so proud of them to be able to live here, contribute positively, and to adapt and recover, because that's just something that's so traumatizing that you just have to live with all those terrible memories the rest of your life. And I'm grateful my family, my parents are healthy and alive. I guess it just puts a lot of things into perspective when you hear about the things that your parents have endured to try and give you a good life. I'm so grateful for them. I'm forever indebted to them that I was able to grow up here in America. Sorry this was a deep, sensitive topic. I want to share more about myself and my family just so you all can understand where I come from and why I am who I am. All the adversities you face in life, you have to decide how it's going to shape you. This is so good. I hope everyone out there is staying healthy and safe and taking this time to appreciate what they have and spend time with their family. I think this is the right time to check on your grandma and grandpa, your parents, your family, your neighbors, your elderly neighbors if you have any, and just make sure that they have what they need and are getting by all right. I think the older people in our community right now are the ones that are most vulnerable to the coronavirus. So, if you can do something to help, be that person. If you all are interested in the recipe for Kapoon, comment down below and let me know, and I'll do a video, a cooking video. I can't believe. When I look back, when I was younger, I was really embarrassed of my parents, and I just, you know, when you're a kid and everybody else's parents speak English and all of that, you just want to be normal and accepted. My parents were very different, especially in the small town that I grew up in. It was predominantly Caucasian Dutch people, so we stuck out like a sore thumb. And I understand now, but when I was younger, I was so embarrassed of them, and that makes me feel so sad now and terrible, because I shouldn't have been. They had been through so much, and they were just trying to do what they could to live a good life and give a good life for their kids. I mean, can you blame them? I'm just glad I eventually had some self-realization or self-actualization to understand enough that my parents had been through enough, and I shouldn't be embarrassed of them. I should be proud of them and should share my story more. And I'm starting to find that these videos are super therapeutic for me, because I've never talked about this stuff before and never shared it, and always felt shameful of it. I don't know why, but now that I'm sharing more about myself and these stories, it's helping me understand my life and my family and the people that love me the most and what they went through. So I guess it just gives me a deeper appreciation of my family and what they went through in my life. So some type of self-discovery there, I guess, right? At the start of this, I had been saying, I just want to find my purpose, right? I mean, like, how do people find their purpose? I think along this journey of sharing stories, I'm just starting to peel back the layers of myself and just discover more of what I should be doing, or what it means to be alive, I guess. Family is the most important thing, and I'm so thankful for my family for always being there for me and loving me, even though I was embarrassed of them when I was younger. I just found out recently that my neighbor, her husband is Cambodian and he's deployed right now. He's in the military. But I'm gonna just tell you, nothing in life is solely a coincidence. I mean, you could cross paths with people for a reason, so I think it's kind of nice to have a Cambodian neighbor and be able to connect on that level. Because I didn't have a lot of Cambodian friends growing up. All right. Last bite. I hope you enjoyed my stories today. If you have a similar experience, I'd love to hear about it. So please comment down below. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Until next time, see you later. Mwah.